Good morning and welcome to KidNuz. I'm Tori. Today is Friday, September 1st, 2023, the start of the long Labor Day weekend. And we begin with something to cluck about. At the ripe old age of 21, Peanut, a golden brown hen from Waterloo, Michigan, is now the oldest living chicken, according to Guinness. Her human, Marcy Parker Darwin, shared details with NPR of first finding her feathered friend as an unhatched egg in an abandoned nest to the present day, where the attention-loving Biddy regularly jumps into people's laps to be held. Peanut also apparently knows her name, turning her head even when called by the family's pet parrot. Over the years, Marcy had taken photos of Peanut alongside her nieces and nephews, which helped document her long life to the judges. If she makes it another 2 years, Peanut will earn the crown for the oldest chicken to ever live, a record currently held by a 23-year-old hen by the name of Muffy. It was a record-setting day in the world of sports. On Wednesday, 92,003 fans packed into the University of Nebraska's Memorial Stadium to watch their women's volleyball team take on Omaha, and in doing so, created the largest crowd ever at a women's sporting event anywhere on the planet. Organizers had been planning Volleyball Day in Nebraska since the spring, hoping to tap into the sport's massive popularity in a state of fewer than 2 million people. It worked. Students were even given the day off from classes, and as head coach John Cook told ESPN, only 3 things have ever shut down the school: 1, snowstorms; 2, COVID; and 3, Nebraska volleyball. A chance thrift store discovery has turned into quite the treasure. In 2017, a woman shopping at a Savers store in Manchester, New Hampshire, spent $4 on a secondhand painting that later this month may end up fetching between $150,000 and $250,000 at auction. The unwitting buyer hung it up for a while before stashing it in a closet. It was only after posting images of it on a Facebook page dedicated to curious found objects that she discovered its true heritage. According to specialists at Bonham's Auction House, the painting is one of 4 created by artist N.C. Wyeth as cover art for a 1939 edition of the book Ramona, originally published in 1884. The titans of late-night TV are joining forces for a good cause. While Strike Force 5 could be the title of the latest Marvel film, it's actually the name of a new podcast hosted by talk show hosts Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon, Stephen Colbert, Seth Meyers, and John Oliver. Their mission? To make money for their staffers who've been out of work for 4 months due to the Hollywood strikes. Not long ago, competition among late-night hosts was famously fierce, which makes the first-of-its-kind camaraderie unusual. The 12-episode run will take a deep dive into the reasons behind both the ongoing writers and actors strike, with each host taking turns as moderator. On the first episode, Jimmy Kimmel made 2 reveals. First, that he had considered retirement right before the strike hit, then changed his mind. And second, that actors Ben Affleck and Matt Damon had each offered to help pay the salaries of Jimmy's striking staffers. And it could be the next best thing. For those who couldn't see Taylor Swift in person, comes the chance to see her on the big screen. Taylor Swift, The Eras Tour is headed to AMC theaters starting on October 13th. Tickets aren't cheap, but they're a whole lot cheaper than the concert. $19.89 for adults and $13.13 for kids. There will be at least 4 shows a day, Thursdays through Sundays. Ahead in our kicker, what could be the world's biggest, messiest food fight? But first, today's KidNuz quiz. How old is Peanut, the world's oldest living chicken? 21 years old. How many fans packed Nebraska's Memorial Stadium for the school's volleyball team? 92,003, making it the biggest crowd ever for a women's sporting event. Why are competing late-night hosts doing a podcast together? To raise money for their striking staffers. When does Taylor Swift's concert film hit the big screen? October 13th. In our Kid News Kicker, call it a wild tomato showdown or a hilarious red mess. Each year on the last Wednesday in August in the town of Buñol, Spain, around 15,000 locals and tourists turn out for a massive tomato fight known as tomatina. Before the hour-long noontime battle begins, trucks roll down the street and dump 120 tons of overripe tomatoes, which quickly turn into saucy projectiles. Goggles are a must as participants and nearby homes end up covered head to toe and top to bottom in sticky red pulp. According to the Associated Press, the annual event was inspired by an actual food fight started by local kids in 1945. Before we go, shout-outs to our Kid News classrooms. Mrs. Jeffrey and her Patriots at Lester B. Homer Elementary School in Crawfordsville, Indiana. Mrs. Bradley and her Bulldogs at Bell Elementary in Papillion, Nebraska. And Mrs. Reinhardt and her awesome Eagles at Masons Cove Elementary School in Salem, Virginia. A few reminders. Our Week in Review quiz is up on our website. Our weekly word search returns to your emails next Friday. And ad-free episodes of Kid News can be found on Apple Plus or wherever you get your podcasts. Have a fun, safe holiday weekend, and we'll see you back here for a special Labor Day podcast on Monday and our regular fun, fresh, top-of-mind Kid News episodes on Tuesday.